Hey everyone, it's Zeta. I'm going to put out a quick video today to go over the tactics I used for a successful Flyer Emblem on the Amelia and Tana bound hero battle. Also touch on a few things here real quick that are kind of of interest. Winter's Envoy, the preview video dropped this morning. I'm really excited for it. I was a good boy and saved up all my orbs. I'm going to go kind of ham into this one here. Oh yeah, save them up even more because something's probably going to drop here for the New Year's too. A bunch of rare units, special drop rates, well, whatever. This is fun for me, and these units are looking to be pretty fun too. So Lisa's, I'm guessing she's going to be slow and defensive here by Bonfire, and the fact that she's going to have a that B skill that gives her an automatic follow-up on the attack. That's going to be pretty wild. And like Steady Breath, it has a +1 charge when per attack. So woohoo! That's she's going to be rough and tough. But I think Chrom and Robin are going to be a bit of stars of this show because they have a new A skill, the Brazen skills, that give +7 to 2 stats. In Chrom's case, it's +7 to attack and defense, and in Robin's, it's attack and speed. The caveat is that it's below 80%. Oh wow, how hard is it to get below 80%? Say goodbye to Defiant skills ever, especially if the show's up on some easier to obtain units. Why have a persistent buff when you can have these buffs? It's 2 of them instead of 1. And the Brazen skill is in combat, so you don't have to worry about it getting panicked away, and it can stack with further stat buffs. Holy smokes, that's kind of big. I don't know yet whether these are going to be limited to armor units or something else, but wow. Simply wow. And speaking of wow factors, it's kind of it's really funny. Taria decided to go back to the 80s and sign up with Conan the Barbarian because as an armor unit, she's wearing the metal bikini of love. She's got some fun skills of her own, close defense, and like Lisa, she has a guaranteed follow-up skill. But hers, it's I guess a little strange. While Lisa's and while Steady Breath of Brave Ike are at any HP, hers is at when HP is greater than 50%. Like those other two, it also gives the +1 charge on the per attack, but why the HP limitation? There probably is something else about this, and that puts it into a better context there. Hers is also on the foes phase as well, so we'll see how that actually turns out. And hopefully there's some great builds that can come along with this, with all of these new skills and new characters that will make them really shine on their own. Speaking of summon banners, I took my free with the Tana and Amelia focus. I was really feeling good about this green orb. Thought, okay, this is going to be the Amelia that has evaded me for so long, and no. But I can't complain about that because I got another Minerva. This is the Minerva that I'm using, have been using, and are going to be using in the playthrough here, and she's plus defense, which is absolutely great in my opinion. I really enjoy running that because you can survive so many encounters, and with Life and Death 3, she's sufficiently high attack and speed to still make her way through most of the units to get off those doubles. And the one I pulled, however, is plus speed, yay, but minus defense. So her survivability kind of plummets. And she'd have 24 defense instead of 30. The plus defense Minerva can tear through Takumi on the initiation. She can beat Takumi as a flyer, which is really nice to have in your pocket when you're running Flyer Emblem. But this one obviously can't. Maybe with as many buffs as you can shove down her throat for defense, she can make it through him, but you get caught isolated and it's kind of, well, that's game over. You can't fight him like that. Unless that it's progressed, someone has less HP, running desperation, blah blah blah, but assuming the worst. But then again, with that much speed, she's absolutely supersonic. She can get up to 50 speed with buffs and everything. It's absolutely ridiculous. So, what's your take on it? Convince me to build one or the other, plus defense or the plus speed minus defense. And I guess I'll try and cover this in a different time, or maybe you guys have some opinions on this, would like to start a discussion in the comments. What's the role of defensive units who are not exclusively the tanky type? To say have Minerva with high defense and keep on stacking that defense for her. Or units like Athena, they're not the tanky character like Ephraim or like Gwendolyn, the other knight units who really are meant to be out there and soak up damage. What's her role in the team composition? What's her role in the meta? So let me know in the comments what you think about defense in your other units, and what build you'd like to see for Minerva. What's your favorite? So, to the real meat of it, let's get into the special map, Amelia and Tana Bound Hero Battle. This is a fight where I'm using my Flyer Emblem to exploit the map to deny the advantage of the enemy flyers and exploit the weakness of the armored units. So the armored units kind of slow, even though there's going to be 2 armor marches on there. I'm going to evade their movement and deny the movement of the enemy flyers. On the lower difficulties, I could face tank the armor units, but on Infernal, with all the extra stats, how much tougher they are, you will get slogged down at this choke point. And then the flyers are going to come around and waste you. So instead, let's choke the flyers. Let's catch them at this choke point, deny them their movement, and meanwhile the armor units have to come all the way over to the end of that peninsula in order to touch us. So, running standard Minerva, standard Life and Death Hinoka, Noe, you can run her out of the box for the purposes of this, and Groanblade Camilla. Now I'm running this with these two seasonal limited units, but I think this can also be applicable to running a Flyer Emblem with gem weapons, Triangle Adept, and the anti-armor weapons like Armor Smasher, the heavy lance, and the variants on that, and even using Hammer. It'll just require some different positioning, but we want to keep the idea of the tactics here, so that you can simulate it to suit your own builds. I'll touch a little bit on some theoretical builds that I would throw in here for other characters. But we have Fortify, Hone, and we're going to go make our little box here so that everyone has +6 to all stats. So the flyers themselves are pretty tough, and this one is especially dangerous. Wodow, Moonbow, and Deathblow. So we want to make sure that one's gone first. Set up position for Noe's Bond, and whittle her down. Finish her with Minerva, creating a green wall, making Tana ineffective here. Our little wall here stops up the rest of the flyers. Their movement ability is nullified, so now we can attack them with their relatively lower defensive capabilities. Now, we're maintaining this wall. They're going to come at us. They're going to come and crash down our wall, so we can predict, in a way, their movement. Sapphire Flyer is going to come towards the weakest end of it. She doesn't want to crash into that green wall again. So straight ahead, we're going to have Hinoka positioned to meet her, take down the green flyer, call it a day. So for your own flyer build, a budget choice would be to put in Flyer Cordelia. She'll also have a Brave Lance, and if you build her up to +10 at 4-star, she'll have higher stats than a single 5-star Hinoka like I have, and she'll serve the same purpose. with devastating initiation attacks here. So now that Bonfire has been built up here, we want to snipe this Green Cavalier. Very dangerous with that movement range and 54 attack. Even though we could probably kite everything down, we don't want to take that chance here. So we're going to also split up our units a little early. You don't have to do this. You can use this water advantage here, but we want to take out these threats as soon as possible. And this Sword Flyer with another guidance is a real threat, because then the armor units can get thrown around and really come out and surprise you. So we're going to do a quick assassination here. And then we're going to use our range and our movement abilities to wipe out this one Sword Knight. So another choice when using, say, like the Triangle and the Ruby, to bring in Tsubaki, building him up, giving him Sapphire Lance Plus, and something like Bonfire Ignis, because you'll be able to take these Red Sword Knights and start tanking them on these defensive tiles once you've eliminated the mobile threats of the Flyers and the Mages. So right now we're going to start just whittling them down and preparing to take out that Red Mage.
Onward.
So we're going to move Minerva,
Yes.
Hinoka, drag back Camilla into the middle of this so she gets all the buffs, and just put out a little bit of damage here. So we're going to sit back. With them trying to make their way to me and getting caught in this little squeeze here, the Axe Knights are out of position. No one's going to be able to catch me. So I can do things like this and assassinate the other Red Mage. Now we don't have to worry about that at all. And we could just bring the hurt, put in all this free damage, with absolutely no one to stop us.
Treat time. Onward. Got it.
And we're able to form our Flyer block again,
Beautiful.
giving everybody maximum stats. And they're screwed from here.
Yay!
Put it very simply,
Spring is sprung.
they're not getting through this.
Yes. Let's go.
And I just put this out here. I can take the hit. I can do this here because it's just cleanup at this point.
Yes.
They're done.
Well.
We'll take it easy here.
Yay! Let's go. Beautiful.
One and kaboom. So some alternative units here, some more budget-minded units, would be, as I mentioned, to put in Tsubaki, built up high with a Sapphire Lance Plus, with Bonfire or Ignis, to do some tanking of the. He can tank that Wo Dao Flyer. He can tank the red. He should be able to tank those Red Knights, to use Cordelia for her Brave Lance as a substitute in this similar situation for Hinoka. You can put in Cersei with Hammer. She'll be in some ways more effective than Minerva for cleaning up those armored units, and she'll still serve a purpose of finishing off some of those Flyers. And then for a red unit, Palla is a great choice on there. I sacked Tobin way back when to give her the armor, well, the Armor Slayer, now the Armor Smasher, and she wields it quite effectively. You can make her really scary as a 4-star plus 10. Great unit overall. She can be pretty quick as well as hard hitting. So if you have a Tana too, she's good for it. There's a lot of ways to work it with the all melee and no special seasonal units. So if you liked anything I've said, if you want to add some of the conversation, if you want to tell me how to build my Minerva, please do leave it in the comments and let me know how I'm doing. So this will be Zeta signing off. Hope you all have a great night and a great weekend.